Kelly, Communications Director for the Estacada School District, joined again by Mike Waer, our Executive Director of Operations. And Mike, we are in the high school gymnasium right now, and as you can see, we have some flooring issues. Could you tell us a little bit about what happened here?
Yeah, unfortunately over our spring break, we had a water main break just behind the bleachers in the main gym. And it really exposed a lot of issues within our floor. We released about 200 gallons plus of water. Our district responded fairly quickly on a weekend during spring break, but unfortunately the damage was already done, where we had to, again, remove about 200 gallons of water from that leak.
Wow, so again, we see this substantial damage. What is being done to fix this? Is this something that we can fix, or do we have to start from scratch here?
This is not, we cannot repair this floor, unfortunately. After our insurance company has come out to assess, it's beyond repair. The water really just damaged the floor beyond anything that we can do to fix it. And to be honest, it's such an old floor, it wouldn't have been able to be done anyway. So right now we're going through that process of what a full gym floor replacement looks like.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that this is an older floor, and it certainly does look a bit retro. Talk to me a bit about the condition of the floor prior to this incident. Was this something we needed to replace anyway?
Yeah, so this floor is about 60 years old. In general, lifespan of gym floors is about 30, 35 years. So it was well beyond its life cycle. We could not apply any more wax or sand down the floor anymore. So pretty much it was down to its last leg. And so the floor itself, the system is fairly old in itself and how it was installed. And we were due for a new one anyways. And we've talked about that in many different communication platforms.
Yeah, so this was really on its last leg anyway. And I know you mentioned insurance. So will insurance be covering this? What would the cost have been if insurance had not covered this?
Yeah, thankfully our insurance company is supporting this process, and they're covering the majority of the cost of this new floor. And that the district will have to pay about $10,000, but insurance will cover the rest. We did get a quote from a gym floor installer. It's about $150,000 to replace, start to finish. And that doesn't include some extra services that we need to address going forward.
Well, a substantial repair, but we are glad to have insurance here. Another thing, when we're talking about the condition of some aging facilities like this floor, I know you mentioned that a pipe broke. What are the condition of the pipes in this building and really in all of our buildings?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. We have existing piping systems throughout our buildings. They have not been replaced for the most part. We've done minor repairs over the years and done a lot to support our district to keep our buildings safe, warm, and dry. But the reality is that they're existing galvanized piping, which create a lot of issues. And even though we can go through our preventative maintenance and to continue to focus on doing these minor fixes, it's a much bigger project, much expensive project.
Yeah, the galvanized pipes and those run through most of our buildings, so a pretty substantial repair process. So in terms of replacing the floor, what does this timeline look like? Of course, we're looking at student impact issues. Students can no longer be in this space right now. When do we think we will be up and running again?
Yeah, it is a big impact to our teaching and learning, as well as our community and just co-curricular activities. We're no longer able to use this gym. We have to, unfortunately, had to go through the testing phase of different materials and hazardous materials. We've completed that process. We plan on starting the abatement process come next week. And that is a multi-phase project, which will only be over about 2 weeks or so. We anticipate starting the actual gym replacement early mid-May, and then hopefully be done early summer, so we're ready for fall sports.
Yeah, it is unfortunate to see the student impact here of this. But, you know, I'm glad that we're getting back on track to get it replaced. And I know you mentioned hazardous materials. Talk to me a little bit about how that impacts cost, how that impacts the process. Are students safe?
Yeah, our students, our faculty are very safe currently. We actually have blocked off this area for anybody to access. We did determine there's a low percentage of asbestos that is containing in the floor system, which is typical with the age of this floor. Our abatement company, the testing facility, has deemed that it's still safe. It's encapsulated, it's not disturbed, although exposed. We're not in any kind of safety issue or safety hazard. It does slow the process down because, again, we have to abate it. We have to do some mitigation measures to ensure when we are abating it that their safety of everyone else is maintained. So it takes a little bit longer time. But again, it's about a 2 to 3 week process that we feel confident that we'll get done before mid-May.
All right, well, thank you, Mike, for taking us on a tour of this process, and we look forward to bringing you more updates as we progress through this repair.